That theme you all know very, very well, right? It's, right? And it didn't get here, just by accident. In the 1800s, there was a debate, philosophical debate with composers about the direction of where music should go. So up to that point, most of music is really absolute or abstract music. So at that time, there is kind of a war of composers. Which should be the way to go to maintain the abstract music, or to go into a different direction, programmatic music. So in programmatic music, eventually just took precedence, and there was a why was born the Romantic period. The Romantic period kind of touches on ideas of life, death, human condition. So it just carried through, and we have tonight's work, Death and Transfiguration by Richard Strauss. And he really epitomizes the programmatic music. So when we hear that, that is the theme. And in romantic music, in programmatic music, there's themes that conveys emotion or a situation or a person. So John Williams didn't, his music really comes from, I would say, Richard Strauss and thematic music. We just heard Wagner, and Wagner's, he has a term that he calls leitmotif, which is a theme that describes a person or a situation, a place. So we're going to hear this piece tonight. Strauss has written many, many tone poems, and I think he's known for, really his music is very, very, very extremely difficult. And I'm proud to have the Young Artists Orchestra play this piece because they're doing this extremely well. And I think that you should be very proud of the parents you here should be very proud of your student playing this piece. I think the MPO, you were very, very impressed with the students. GMTY students, can you please stand up? So I want to enhance your listening experience tonight. We're going to play some themes from the Death and Transfiguration, so that when you hear it, that's right there. So the piece is written in 4 parts. The piece is about a dying artist. He's in bed, he's about to die. So the 4 parts are, the first part is called Dying Artist. And it starts with a theme, very faint, pulsing beat. And that's the heartbeat, very, very faint. And I'm going to play this with the orchestra. You'll hear that rhythm, ta, 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 ta. And you will also hear that in the trombones. You see, that slows down. So it's showing the heartbeat, it's trying to struggle, but it also is starting to fail as well. So you will hear that up, 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 over and over again. The next section in the piece is called Transfiguration. And this next part is really about 2 components: struggle, and I think in towards the end you'll hear a very brief moment of spiritual awakening and possible transcendence. So I'm going to play this part. I'll leave it hold on. So that's a struggle. He's trying to stay alive. He's trying to hang on to what he has. So that's a struggle. Then there's this very, very brief moment of awakening. Can we play this orchestra? It only happens just briefly in this section, but then you'll hear more of this towards the end. You know what they say about a man facing death, his whole life, he faces his whole life come to him. So this next section is memories and longing. So there's three components to this. The first one is childhood, and then struggle again, and then achievement. So can we hear this from the flute, please? Thank you, Abby. That sounds innocent, doesn't it? Now, before I go into the fourth section is acceptance and redemption. But before that ever happens, this is my favorite part of the piece. I'm going to play that for you first. Can anybody guess what that is? What? Yes. That's his last breath. You see that running note? That's the very last breath of the body. It's just left the body. So that he's gone. Next, acceptance and redemption. Now this redemption part is really showcases the transfiguration in its full glory. It's about his soul leaving his body and also reaching a higher realm. So listen to this. All right, so you ready for some death and transfiguration? Now, but I cannot forget, we have one more student to give an award. So Mr. Garza just really explained and really said a lot about the students. The next student is just, I can't say any more, but repeat the same things that Mr. Garza said. But I think what's really important is the parents. So it's the parents that raise these children to be such wonderful people. Can the parents of Aiden and Emily please stand up? Thank you. This award goes to Silas Urban. Okay, Sally's parents, can you please stand up? Great, great parents, great people. All right, let's hear some Strauss. Amen.